What's up, guys? This is Overwatch here, and today I've been asked a lot of questions like, Papa John's, who do you main? Because, you play a lot of heroes in your games, and who do you have as a distinct main? Well, the truth is, I actually, as most people should, I have a main for every single role, and in this video I'm going to be discussing who those mains are, my personal why I chose them as a main, my personal opinion about them, their strengths to me, their weaknesses, and so on. So without further ado, I hope you enjoyed the video. So first up, for the offensive heroes, if you have seen from my videos in the past, my offensive hero is Reaper. The reason why I actually like Reaper so much is that he's a close range, hard hitting offensive hero. He's not limited to 200 health, he has the extra 250, so in a firefight or a 1v1, he can take that extra brute damage before resulting back to a regular offensive hero. His shotguns also, if you know how to chain them right, can do massive damage, making him a really deadly hero to play against. Another thing I like about Reaper too is that his ability where he fades in and out into a ghastly smoke. It actually reminds me of one of my favorite Pokemon, Ghastly, from Generation 1, so I felt that really pretty cool connection. I also like how his teleport ability helps him get in and out of firefights really quickly, because for most of the time, an offensive hero, you're not going to have a lot of abilities that get you out of firefights quickly. I know for Soldier, he has his heal to drop off, and his sprint. For Tracer, she has her jumps, so those take an awfully long time to recharge, especially up to 3. So, his Fate also really helps me juke, heroes that counter him, people like Pharah, Mei, Zarya, even other Reapers too. One thing that kind of bugs me when I'm playing Reaper is that since he carries shotguns, his damage actually falls off really bad when he's close. Well, not close, sorry. Long range away too. Making it so heroes that have the range on him, i.e. Sniper, Soldier, McCree, Pharah, Tracer, all that are hard to engage unless you do have your phase shift or your teleport where you can actually sneak behind enemy backlines. Another thing that's really difficult with Reaper 2 is managing your abilities and knowing when to use them, since your phase shift does have that 8-second cooldown, while teleport also has a staggering 10 seconds as well too. So knowing how to limit and knowing when to use your abilities also will give you the edge of playing as a Reaper player. For all of you who are new, Reaper also has some of the coolest skins in the game. My favorite being his mariachi one. So that's really cool. Another offensive hero I really want to actually learn and master is Sombra. The reason for that is that I play a lot of Assassin's Creed, and Sombra actually reminds me really much of, the assassin type of style. She has the stealth ability, and her ability to see when enemies are actually below 25, I believe. Is it 25% health? And her ability to hack enemies, giving her the upper hand when their enemies are actually crippled. So she's someone I actually want to master and actually learn. Maybe even one day take over as my offensive main. For defense, actually, it kind of fluctuates sometimes. It all depends on the map. But if I was to pick a main, I'd probably pick Torbjorn. The reason why I like Torbjorn so much is that my favorite class in Team Fortress 2 is the Engineer. And the fact that since he doesn't have all that much combat abilities other than his shield for his teammates, and his carbine, was actually does a lot of damage if you can aim for their head. And nothing's more satisfying than actually watching you peg an enemy from that far away too, with your lava gun. So it's really cool. One thing that's really hard to do when managing Torbjorn is knowing which enemies actually are really good against your turret. You have heroes like Reaper who can get in close with his phase shift, Pharah who has the distance and the range, and the AoE effect of her rockets that actually take out maybe you and your turret if you're close enough, and Junkrat with his bouncing grenade, which actually puts some distance between himself and the turret. Another cool thing is too is that Torb's turret actually has a really long damage. So if you're able to position yourself very well in maps like Volskaya Industries, Temple of Anubis, hell even Hanamura, and be able to get that distance or even gap close between you and the enemy, your turret's actually going to do a lot of damage and give you that edge that your teammates need. Another cool thing what I did there is that I'm able to place down shields for my teammates too, just to increase their survivability and chance of actually winning any firefight. Another hard thing that's hard too is that when you are 1v1ing as Torbjorn, obviously offensive heroes or even other defense heroes or other heroes for that matter do have that upper hand damage on you. And since they are offensive, they have more abilities that tailor to doing damage instead of surviving, so you do have that disadvantage against offensive heroes. Something else to notice too is that you can actually rival snipers like Hanzo, Anna, and Widowmaker just because your pistol does a lot of damage. And if you can land it, and it actually does have a different fire damage, so if you're able to land a headshot from a different range, from a farther range away from them, it makes it all that much satisfying when you peg them in the head. Another hero that used to be play, and someone that's actually probably to be honest, my main defense hero is Mei. I really like Mei just because she reminds me of those kind of beefy defense hero with a lot of utility abilities like your Ice Cube and a wall that's able to create a barrier between you and your enemy. Her ice gun is actually kind of a unique take on the flamethrower just because it has that kind of a flamethrower feel, but it freezes your opponent solid, making it really easy to peg a headshot. As you can see here, he's frozen, he can't move for a few seconds, giving me the opportunity to peg him in the head and for the easy kill. The best thing too is that if you're able to freeze any offensive hero with 200 health and peg him in the head after that, most likely they're going to be dead unless they have a shield or an anti-boost ability. One thing you're going to find that kind of sucks with Mei is that if you're in the middle of a battlefield and your offensive heroes and tanks are down, most likely they're going to go for you as Mei just because they know you are a big threat. Your cooldowns take a pretty long time too, 12 seconds for your Ice Cube. Your wall's not that big of a deal just because it creates that separation, but when you have heroes like Soldier or Reinhardt or Reaper making it all in the middle of a play, your wall does create that separation, so having it ready is kind of actually necessary, but the long cooldown keeps you from that consistently. For tanks, it's always been my boy Roadhog. I mean, the story behind why I love Roadhog so much is the fact that I used to play League of Legends, and my first support hero I ever played was Blitzcrank, and his hooks were actually really deadly, and I just love how goofy Blitzcrank is. Roadhog reminds me a bit of Blitzcrank, obviously more fleshy. His hook's also really good, I missed it there, but his hook's actually really good for actually getting high priority targets like a Mercy or an offensive hero, or just any other support hero. And if you coordinate well with your teammates enough, you're going to be able to take down any hero you hook, because your hook really should have that kind of priority queue type of thing for attacking heroes. So once your teammate sees you're pulling your hero, if they really are more attentive, they would actually focus the hero, making your usefulness so much more better. Another thing that's good too is that when you're taking damage as Roadhog, if you don't have a healer present, don't worry. You do have the Take a Breath ability, which actually restores your health and also charges your ult too. So if you're really low health and you use it, it will charge your ult even more. And since it's already a fast charging ult, it's going to make you so much more effective in the battlefield. One thing I find a disadvantage about Roadhog is that, well, two actually, your hook and your Take a Breath ability have a pretty decently medium-high cooldown. So once you're out of that, you have to rely on either your close range burst shotgun or your medium distance lob shot, which actually does pretty decent damage when it's at the appropriate range. but most of the time your combo is gonna be hook and shoot. So don't worry if you can't land your medium shots. Another good thing to keep in mind with Roadhog is that if you are playing on a map like Eichenwald, Hanamura, even Temple of Anubis or somewhere else, and you see a pit, make sure you're actually able to use your ult against enemies who are actually near the pit. That way, because you're able to create that separation, you actually push the enemy team too as you're shooting them. So if you push them over the pit, it actually makes for a good play of the game, because most likely you will get that. And this makes you more useful to your teammates, because you're not only are you limiting the team, but you're also making sure there's no chance that they can actually survive your ult. One thing I like about Roadhog 2 is that he has some of the coolest skins in the game. My favorite being a Silent Hill one. It's just something so weird and something you don't really see, so it adds to something that's even scary as Roadhog, which honestly, if I saw this in the middle of the street, I'd probably turn the other way or give him absolutely everything that I own, including my car. Now, for support heroes, it's actually probably no surprise since you guys have seen my videos before. I am a Lucio support main, so that is who I pick as my support main. One thing I like about Lucio too is that he's a really mobile support, probably one of the fastest moving supports in the game. His speed boost and his health boost create a huge and a very effective AoE heal and speed boost to your team, making you all that much more effective in battle. And since the Lucio update, they have increased his damage he does in the shot, so if you're able to consistently land headshots with your clip, you actually can probably take out most offensive heroes, and if you wear them down enough, defensive heroes as well too. One thing to keep in mind too, if you didn't know, that when you are wall riding with Lucio, you are much faster than you usually would be moving, so make sure to use that in mind when you're getting to your teammates, or when you die and respawn and getting back to that objective before you either take it or it is taken from you. One thing I do not like about Lucio, however, is that when you are seen by the enemy on the field, since you are a support hero, they will be going for you probably 95% of the time, just because, one, you're a Lucio, so you're actually really effective against the enemy team in probably 85% of the situations in game. And two, well, it's just really fun to kill Lucio, since he is a pretty hard hero to kill. Just because if you know how to play him right, he can be really, really mobile. And I'm dead. But the main question you're probably asking is, Papa, who do you one-trick pony? Who is probably the hero that you would play the most if you had to choose? And really, it's probably Lucio. He's absolutely my favorite champ in the game. Well, not champ, hero. And yeah, that's it for this video, guys. If this was any helpful to you, if you're a new Overwatch player, or if you're just curious, well, this video might be for you. I know it's not the best quality as, you know, most Overwatch YouTubers, but I work with what I have. You know, I'm a high school student, so I just use what I have given to me. However, this has been Papa Watch. I will see you guys next time in the next video. Peace.